Oh, I wanted to put the Hustler on there. It was an endorsement that Mr. Flint did. Well, I was out at his home in October of '83 twice during the political campaign to replace Dr. Congressman Larry McDonald when his plane went down and all aboard the passenger plane died. It was shot down by the Soviet MiG, and it was a KAL he was on um, from Alaska to Seoul, South Korea. And I became a candidate, and Mr. Flint helped me during the campaign. Now, I'd written about Larry McDonald, congressman, doctor, in a medical malpractice book, MD A License to Kill. It was about programming people to kill. You can program them to look like they commit suicide, to murder. You can modify their behavior. So this is back in '77, '78, and Larry Flint was shot in nearby Lawrenceville, Georgia, about 40 miles from Marietta, where I lived, at Moonraker Apartments. And his attorney was killed, and the person that did the shooting was programmed by an agency to shoot Mr. Flint and kill his attorney. And this has been ongoing, the murders done in patterns, and I've continued to tell about them, even though I was still full of antifreeze April Fool Day of '80 and got a letter from the U.S. Attorney's Office June the 23rd of '79, and even with damage, I mean, you put antifreeze in someone, it should have killed me. Instead, I managed to hold on and was illegally transported back to Huntsville, Alabama, and I did pass a background check. Sheriff Patterson did that, and then I worked for the district attorney, Fred Simpson. Now then, I'm going to stop there because I've done a lot of tapes. I have a Channel 51, and I've done a slew of them over the last month, and I'm on Facebook. But most of all, when I found out my real name, Margaret Ann Windsor, that I'd been kidnapped from Buckingham Palace in '41, I told it. I tried to get things done, attorneys, anything. I went to the media. The media already knew about my kidnapping. They're not going to tell it because of who's involved. Joe Kennedy was ambassador to to England. He was put there by President Roosevelt, 36 till he was kicked out in 46. And his son, JFK, and Joe Jr., there was a book on it, While England Slept, but there was documentaries by public broadcasting, and I don't know how many more, that told about the Kennedy brothers actually being at the embassy and helping their father. My question here is, I know Joe Kennedy helped in my kidnapping, and my uncle George, illegal George VI, helped take down his own brother, King Edward VIII, and he helped in kidnapping me. He gave them access, and he became illegal George VI, and thus Elizabeth. And instead of trying to make things right, they have continued to trying to stop any move to bring me home. My mother and father are dead. Their name was stolen from them, their identity. This man here, and then I wanted to get back to when I started selling this tape. I'm trying to explain, so if someone's just watching and they don't know the background on it, they get the gist of it. This is a double that was used to marry Wallace Simpson. Stole my father's identity. A 99-year seal was put on so-called abdication. And you don't even hear about my birth. I was born in '39, heir to the British crown, Victoria II. Here's the double that married Wallace Simpson. That photo, the last one there was George VI, my uncle, who helped kidnap me. And he's with Roosevelt and family in '39 in D.C. And they made the movie of him, The King's Speech. Isn't it strange how they leave out all the truth, and it's a lie. And people accept it. Who would put a 99-year seal on my dad, and why? They must have had something to cover up, right? They took my dad out because he was a decent man, and I hope so much to clear his name and get my name back. Um, Now, this is my father, King Edward VIII. And that's my father. And then Georgia O'Keeffe is my aunt. My mother is Claudia Ruth O'Keeffe, who they never mention in history either. In fact, they've redone photos and everything. My father and mother were legally wed, and I'm the legal heir, and it's who kidnapped me, the Bilderbergers, Rothschilds, Rockefellers, that control your media and are part of they are the New World Order, which is Elizabeth and Charles are a part of it. Now then, I'm going to get to what I gave the background to give you a gist of what's gone on. I was given the name of twin Peggy Dempsey and married to Childers. And Peggy and Carl, both twins, were murdered by their mother in Moulton, Alabama, who's unwed. I'll say that again. And it was a pigsty that I grew up in, given my identity stolen. Um, then come to find out my real name, my father's identity was really stolen, and his money and his power, and given to his brother and the Rockefellers and Rothschilds, illegal. I wrote about mind control. I mentioned about Larry Flint, and by the way, he was sent to Butner for telling the truth. That's where the serial killers are sent, some of them. And a lot of you serial killers, I don't know how many, but a lot of them were programmed on, they're mind control victims. That has nothing to do with mental illness. It's taking away your own thought and will process. Um, and I'll just leave it at that. They don't even know they've been placed under mind control. They have no control over their actions. And people are so willing to blame. Like this morning when I went over and had breakfast, and that's my one kind of luxury thing in life. And I hear people's comments when they watch TV and the news. And Justin Bieber was on again this morning, this time in Miami, and I think, what was it, drag racing? It gets to me because people, it doesn't do any good to mention, hey, do you think he's under mind control or a mind control victim? They're just tuning you out because it's invisible. It can be proven. And psychiatrists know it. So when they put Lindsey Lohan, and I'm just going to name you some of them, Charlie Sheen, Britney Spears, and they call them addicts or their behavior is horrible and they say nasty things about them. These that I've just read off are victims of programming, modifying their behavior, etc. At least they didn't go out and kill anybody, weren't programmed to do that. I want to mention Sharon Tate because this was way back when I started telling about mind control. Well, about murders being done in patterns. I didn't know that were being done by mind control about that until, I don't remember, it was probably 76, 77 when I started doing the book. Yeah, because I'd worked for the cardiologist and I knew about the mind control and heart bypasses and chips being put in when they did the heart bypass, and you can control his or modify his behavior or his thought process or decision making, and he doesn't even know it. This guy I'm talking about was head of a huge corporation back then. So I want to mention Sharon Tate and Manson. But what was the coffee heiress that was with Sharon Tate?